Hello and welcome to this special episode of Sermon Soundwaves on the Space Coast. I'm Pastor Alicia Ungs, pastor of discipleship at Advent Lutheran Church in Melbourne, Florida. During this season of Advent, a time in the church year when we prepare to celebrate Jesus' birth at Christmas time, I've written a few short dramas that fit with our season of Advent theme, The Light of Grace. I hope to help bring these stories to life through the wonderful performances of congregation members who volunteered to play these characters. Even though the events of these Bible stories happened long ago, in this special season we remember that the story of God's light of grace, Jesus, is an eternal one. Each week in the season of Advent leading up to Christmas, we will focus on a different theme in the light of grace. Together, we will reflect on these words of hope, peace, and joy in the light of grace. Throughout these dramas, you will hear a variety of stories. In week 1, you will meet Zechariah and Elizabeth, who help to center in on the theme of hope in the light of grace. In week 2, you will hear a prophecy from Isaiah, who speaks of peace in the light of grace. And in the third and final week of this season of Advent, you will hear the stories of Elizabeth and Mary as they reflect on the joy of the light of grace. For more information and details about this week's drama, check out the episode description. But for now, without further ado, welcome to the Light of Grace dramas.
Good evening. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. I'm sure by now you're wondering why I invited you all to dinner. And I'm sure underneath your breath you're also saying, oh, no, not that prophet Isaiah again. Will the guy ever shut up? Well, I understand how you might feel that way, but the world is in a mess. The world is in dire straits right now. And tonight, I bring you a message from God, a message about peace. Now, you might be saying to yourself, how can you talk about peace at a time like this? A time when we all feel a little hopeless. A time when we all feel like it's never going to get better. Well, I have troubles with this myself sometimes. When I hear the Lord talk about his message of peace, I say, there's nothing that's peaceful about the world today. How can you even mention peace when there are people who are suffering, who are dying? Where is this light in the midst of all this darkness? This darkness that swallows us up. This darkness that makes us feel like a single person can't do anything to change the world. But the Lord proclaims, the people who walked in the darkness have seen a great light. The people who have lived in the land of deep darkness, upon them light has shined. Here is the hope and the light of God's Word. That there is light in the darkness. That the light shines in the darkness. And the darkness does not, cannot, will not overcome that light. Deliverance is at hand. The Lord has promised to go with us through the darkness as our light. I know this message might seem a little bit unbelievable. This is the kind of message that gets me run out of town or maybe get killed. But if that's the consequences that must be paid to bring this message of hope and light to even one person in the darkness, then so be it. It's worth it. I will trust in all the light that is yet to come. Peace is coming. The Prince of Peace has promised to deliver us from the depth of the darkness that seems impossible to navigate from the ravages of war that tear us apart. The Prince of Peace is coming. He is the shining light. He is the one we will look to. He is the example we will follow. If all the light that's found in a single child, if everything we've hoped for, dreamed of, imagined, can be real in one holy moment, then maybe, just maybe, the darkness is dimming. The light has come. A child has been born for us. A son has been given to us. Authority rests on his shoulders. He will be named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Peace. Peace to you all. May you find a light in the darkness. May God bless you. May God hold you in your darkest moments so that you begin to see the child. The child who will change the world. The child we have been waiting on. The Prince of Peace. Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning in to today's special episode. You've been listening to our special series, The Light of Grace Dramas. These dramas are written by myself, Pastor Alicia, and performed by members of the Advent Lutheran Church community. I hope you have enjoyed hearing a new perspective on an old tale, and that you are able to find the hope, peace, and joy in the light of grace this holiday season. If you enjoyed today's drama, I hope you will consider sharing it with your friends and family. After all, we all need to hear the good news of God's love for us through the light of grace, Jesus. To support this podcast further, please consider leaving a like, a comment, or even subscribing. For more information about this episode, including the scriptural reference passage, check out the episode description. There you will also find some questions for reflection and discussion. If you want to learn more about Advent Lutheran Church, you can visit our website at adventbrevard.org. But above all, remember that you are God's beloved child. I pray in this holiday season you are able to hear this message of God's hope, peace, and joy in the light of grace.